Hi guys, welcome back to Chris Cowlin's channel for this watch along for the live Premier League game between Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool at Anfield. We are live today on YouTube, Facebook, X and Twitch. Get involved and send your comments in. Already over 100 of you watching. Thank you so much for your support. Please do press like on this video. The more likes we get, the more Spurs fans that this video will get sent to. And the more people can watch what will be, I'm sure, at the very least, an intriguing game as Liverpool go for the 1 point they need to wrap up the title. And frankly, with Thursday against Bodo Glimt on our mind, I'm not sure we're that bothered about it either. And just made 8 changes. The Liverpool fans are having an absolute party. And of course, once again, Tottenham with a good opportunity to stop Arsenal from winning the league, although, frankly, they've already done it themselves. They've lost the league. They've bottled it, haven't they? Chris is at the game, so please do look out for updates on his channel throughout the day. The post-match press conferences will be put up, and I'm sure he'll be putting up videos from fan reactions and stuff like that. And then after the show tonight will be, of course, the Spurs Chat podcast from about 7:30, where Craig Dearman will be hosting. He'll be joined by Melvin, Johnny Bow, and Lee Baker. But before the game starts today, something a bit different. Chris would like to tell you about a new app. Take a look. Let's go.
Hi everyone, before we get into it, I'd just like to tell you about a brand new app. It's called Match Bingo. You can play along with live sports and Spurs matches, and you could win cash prizes. Watch your card fill up in real time whilst watching Tottenham. Make sure that you get your bingo card for our next game. Click on the link in the description or via the QR code. Real sports, real bingo, great prizes. Enjoy.
There you have it. As if this game wasn't exciting enough and wouldn't be enough of a basketball game with probably goals flying in the entire 90 minutes. You have the chance to win money through it too. I'm sure all Spurs fans will fill their cards up quickly, as the games that we play and always have so many incidents. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them into one brilliant app. Make sure you get your bingo card for this game. Click through the link in the description or via the QR code, which you should be able to see there in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Just flash your phone on that and it'll sort it all out for you. Bingo cards for this game are buy 4 and you get 1 free. So more chance to make your money. I'll now take you through the itinerary for this afternoon's content. I will, of course, be doing the live watch along. And then straight after the show, I'll do a post-match reaction video. And then the fan show, where I'll be talking to Tottenham fans from all around the world. That is indeed, if there are any fans watching this, or if they're mainly just saving themselves for Thursday night. I personally have a slight worry we might get beaten like 9-0 today and really embarrass ourselves. I really hope I'm wrong. Let's get into the team news, though. Starting with Spurs, and like I said, 8 changes. Vicario, Spence comes in at right back. Udogie starts, bit of a surprise for me. And then Danso and Davis playing centre-back. That should be interesting. Archie Gray gets a go in midfield alongside Lucas Bergvall and James Maddison. I would have thought both Bergvall and Maddison will be playing in central midfield on Thursday night. So again, a bit of a surprise that they're playing. And then in the forward line, Tell, Solanke and Johnson. Let me know in the comments what you make of that team lineup. A few surprises for me. On the bench, Kinski, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, Basuma, Sarr, Kulusevski, Odebear, and Richarlison, who I thought might start today at Anfield, but he's gone for Solanke. Liverpool's team is pretty much their strongest team, the team that they've picked the most this season. They've been very fortunate with injuries this year, haven't they? Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson as the fullbacks, Konate and Virgil van Dijk. Then in midfield, Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and then in the forward line, Salah, Gakpo and Rodrigo. Listen, let's just enjoy the fact that Arsenal are not going to be winning the league. This was their huge chance with Man City having dropped off so much, but they just didn't have what it takes. So that is frankly a relief. But it's a real party, like I mentioned at Liverpool. About 10,000 fans greeted the coach. They've all got the red flares going. And if they get an early goal, which I expect them to do, because let's face it, this is Tottenham, lads, then yeah, it could be a real battering today. And how would that feel going into the Bodo Glimt game on Thursday? I don't know. I spoke to my friend Joey Page the other day. I said, I think it might be 9-0. And he said, actually, it's more likely the Spurs will accidentally beat them. So let's see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you think. What team would you have chosen as well with Thursday in mind? Like I said, a few surprises there as far as I'm concerned in his selections. Yeah, I'm surprised that Udogie and Bergvall and Maddison and Solanke are starting, but you've got to think that they'll probably play 45, 55 minutes absolute most. And we just have to hope, beyond hope, that none of those players get injured, particularly Bergvall and Solanke. Although Udogie has also looked really good in the last couple of games that he's played, so I want him to stay fit as well. What else? No Bentancur, no Rodrigo Bentancur in the squad. Ange Postecoglou said in his pre-match interview that that's just literally just resting him so that he will be fit and firing on Thursday night. Johnson starting on the right-hand side kind of makes me think that maybe Wilson Odobert will be playing on Thursday night. Do you agree with that? Let me know in the comments. I think that might mean that Odobert starts. And I kind of hope he does. I hope that we start with Odobert on the right and Tell on the left against Bodo Glimt on Thursday night to have some kind of pace options to get outside their men. Games like this at Anfield, you know, they're about to celebrate the title. It really makes me think how incredible it is, how far Liverpool have jumped ahead of us in the 5-6 years since that Champions League final. Don't forget, before Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool had finished below Spurs in something like 8 of the previous 10 seasons or something like that. And where Tottenham have just made mistake and after mistake on and off the pitch, Liverpool have done the opposite. And they've spent money well and wisely. They haven't bought it like a lot of the other clubs. They're not owned by a petrol state or an oligarch. And they've just done it the right way. They've used their heritage. They've used their fan base. They sold Philip Coutinho very cleverly and reinvested that money into Alisson, Virgil van Dijk. And Tottenham at some point need to do something similar and really invest in 2 or 3 absolutely top level players who can slot straight into their first team. But I listened to the View from the Lane podcast this week. Make sure you listen to that, the Athletics podcast. And they had an interview with their football financial expert. And he said he does not expect Spurs to spend a lot of money this summer because they've actually spent a huge amount in the last few years, about £800 million. Archie Gray gets a go in midfield today. A lot of fans have been calling that for a long time. It's a bit of an ask, isn't it? Go to Anfield on their party day and start one of your very few games in midfield, but let's see how he does. And yeah, another chance for Tell to shine. I'm excited to see how he does. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Gisty9T4 says this is going to be an arse whipping. Martin Stark says this could be gruesome. I wonder if we can hold out for 5 minutes without conceding. One can but dream. My prediction is that we won't. Gardu with a couple of messages. Thanks, mate. Says Arsenal stopped thinking about the league some weeks ago. And the moment they bested Madrid, everything went into an unlikely Champions League victory being the pure focus. Yeah, let's hope they don't win that. Paris Saint-Germain, there he goes. Gardu says Paris Saint-Germain must ensure that doesn't happen, of course. And Gardu says, I think Kulusevski will start as right forward on Thursday. Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. He's looked a little bit off match sharpness since he's come back, which you'd expect after a month or two out. But hopefully he gets a few more minutes today and then, yeah. And then gets in the team for Thursday night. Tom Green says, come on, you Spurs. Scotty says, midfield looks so lightweight. Could be a very bad day. And now they are singing, of course, You'll Never Walk Alone. Getting the atmosphere up. I guess as Spurs fans, we can just hope that maybe Liverpool will think it'll be so easy that they drop their levels and just kind of pop it about a little bit. And it becomes kind of like a training ground, in which case I still think they'll win. But it would probably, hopefully mean that they don't put 8 past us, which would be my worry. You cannot deny that Anfield is an incredible atmosphere and, you know, an amazing place to play football. Key Bike says, I just don't want a clean sheet for Liverpool. We should score at least 1 goal today. Would help with our confidence for this Thursday. Brandon says, listening to the Liverpool crowd on TV and watching fans at their stadium, that's how a team is supposed to be operating. We are miles below. And Dave Bird says, FFS, please resign. And he's not going to resign. I think he might resign if he wins the Europa League. I'll tell you that. But that is the only way in which I could foresee him resigning. They've got all the flags out. Cohen G71 says, we're about to get smashed. I'm watching from behind a cushion. Yeah, well, we always get smashed at Anfield. And good point from Chris here saying, of all the games to finally play Archie Gray in midfield. Yeah, I mean, it's a big test. It's a big test for the kid. Spurs playing in their light blue kit for this one. What a week it is for Tottenham, though. You know, take this out of the equation. Europa League semi-final on Thursday night, first leg at home to Bodo Glimt. John Lancaster, this is an interesting point. Think we will go 2-0 up and still lose. You could see that happening, couldn't you? Like we did against Chelsea, like we always do against Chelsea. Yeah, maybe if Liverpool aren't going to be like totally on it. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? And Gardu says it's just kicked off on his feed. So yeah, I'm probably about a minute behind. Let me see if I can catch up on a different feed actually. That's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, I'm about 15 seconds in now, so I'm going to jump out of the comments. Spurs making a break down the left with Tell. Cuts it back. Should be a corner. And of course, not given. Hope you've all had a good weekend, by the way. I'm quite hungover, I'll tell you that. So excuse me for that. Oh, and Gakpo gets in down the left behind Jed Spence. Back in his normal position of right back today. And McAllister plays a good ball inside Brennan Johnson, who for once is working backwards. Good atmosphere at Anfield. Van Dijk to McAllister. Robertson. 1 minute gone. Spurs have not conceded in the first minute, so there we go. Canati plays it through the lines, and Big Kev Danso gives away his first foul of the game. Up against... Who's that? Luis Diaz. Is he playing? Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, Diaz, yeah. Gary Neville is on the co-coms. I wonder if they've got Jamie Carragher there as well, or is he just having a party? McAllister's going to take this free kick. Looks like they're going to try and get it out wide and get a cross in, set us up. And here it is. It comes out wide to Salah. He's going to... Oh, he goes inside, actually. Chance for Salah here. Over the bar. Was in his classic position. Kind of surprised he didn't score, to be honest. Yeah, we didn't defend that very well. Didn't go with the 1-2. Lucky not to concede. Come on, Spurs. Still in it. Still in it. Well, Mo Salah hasn't scored in 50 days. Dr. Tottenham will see you now. You know it. You know the script. You know if Salah needs a go. Oh, look at this. We're not going short. Going long. Bakari just kicking it long. You don't see that very much in the Premier League for Spurs. Well, good ball down the line. Oh, nearly found Tell, but it didn't. Liverpool chip one over the top. Danso's got to get a header on that, and he does. Ball up for the second. He's so good in the air, Bergvall. Fortunately, not a clash of heads there, because it looked like it could have been. Alisson trying to take the ball into his own box and manages it. Oh, Trent tries the big diag, but it's picked up in midfield. And then Brennan Johnson did the most bizarre thing. He had an opportunity to get the ball down and just go towards the Liverpool half, and he just didn't have the guts, so he just turned straight backwards. So weird. Vicario kicks it out to Doggy, goes inside to Madders. Totally on his own, plays a lovely ball inside to Tell, though. And Tell does well, gives it a bit behind Bergvall, who does well as well. Danso, first time to Spence. Spence holds on to it in central midfield. Good decision. Ball over the top now to Tell. Good first touch for Matthias Tell. I've seen some good social media clips of him this week, actually. And he tries to come inside. It does find Maddison, though. Good quick feet from Madders, but surrounded by Liverpool players, as you'd expect. Archie Gray back out to Tell. He's got a runner outside him. Tell goes for the early cross. Oh, chance. Oh, tell you what, Solanke had a headed chance from miles out, but then it came to Spurs. It came to another Spurs player in the box. Was it Johnson? Looks like it would have been offside anyway. But I love how quickly Tell gets his crosses into the box. Yeah, and Johnson would have been offside, actually. Alisson gets it out to Trent. He goes down the line well. first time. Again, keeps coming down the line. Good interception there from Archie Gray. Comes to Tell. Good first touch. Keeps the ball, but then gives it away. And then Gray does well. And Liverpool go down the line, but Ben Davies is in a good position and gets it back to Vic, who's got time and space. He goes into Bergvall's feet. Love that from Bergvall. Really good show for him. Comes to Udogie. Tries to dink one over the top for Solanke to run in the channel. And Solanke works hard and does well against Van Dijk. And he gets it and keeps it, gives it to Tell. Tell loses it, unfortunately. And then Bergvall comes in. Oh, they're in down the left here, possibly. Tried the ball over the top. It's cut out by Ben Davies, but it comes to Diaz. On the left-hand side, he's got Robertson. Diaz. Tries the cross. Udogie. Ooh, air shot from Udogie, but Tell is in a good position and clears it. 5 minutes gone, guys. No goals. No goals. That should be a Spurs throw, I think. Should be a Spurs throw, yeah. And is. Ben Davies. Goes back to Vicario. He's got Kevin Dance outside him, but he doesn't go there. He might have to go long here, Vic. Eventually it comes to Bergvall. He plays it first time wide to Danso. He takes his man on, drives into midfield, and then plays a really good ball to James Maddison, who plays a ball outside of the boot to Tell. He's now driving towards the box. He's got Udogie outside him, but he wants to come inside Tell every time. It's good, quick feet from Tell. And the ball came through to Solanke, but here's where Spurs are in trouble on the transition straight away. And they play a ball over the top to Salah, who's got Diaz across the box if he goes for the early cross, but Diaz didn't go with it. And actually, Kevin Danso was in a decent position there. And then something mental happened, so we've given away a throw for some reason. Look how hard Danso worked to get back on that transition. Vicario goes long, but easily picked up. Goes all the way back to Alisson. Solanke presses him, so he just lays it off to Konate. Good ball into central midfield. McAllister. Good tackle from Bergvall. He's so front foot, Bergvall. And Johnson gives a horrible ball into Solanke, I think it was, and he's not only able to give it away, really. And Liverpool have it again, popping it about central midfield. Into Gakpo. It's good football, but comes to Ben Davies, who goes back to Vicario. And Vicario being pressed again. So he gives it to Ben Davies, who gives it to Archie Gray. Goes back round the corner to Udogie. Spurs getting themselves in a bit of trouble. So Davies goes down the line, but easily picked up by McAllister. Good little player. It's what you'd expect for £100 million, though, I guess. Spurs unable to keep the ball really at the moment. Van Dijk plays one over the top. Great ball to Gakpo. And he has a shot. That's never ever a corner. Deary me. So this will be a corner to Liverpool into the 9th minute. Going to be an in-swinger from McAllister. Van Dijk scored a few headers against us down the years. They're getting a player around Vicario. Here it comes. Vic comes for it. Gets a punch on it. Doesn't go very far. Again, just to the edge of the box. Oh, and Szoboszlai has an overhead kick. I think it's Szoboszlai. Is it Gakpo? Gakpo overhead kick. Just, I don't know if it's over or wide, but it's a good effort. So he once again, Vicario doesn't get it very far. Then they have a shot on the edge of the box, and Gakpo's overhead kick, which he sets up for himself, just goes wide. And Spurs trying to play the ball down the line, lost it, but Johnson was fouled, and Spurs get a chance to get their foot on the ball a bit, as Sky show. All of the old Liverpool legends. Kenny Dalglish is there. Ten minutes gone. Still 0-0. Kevin Danso under pressure here. It's going to have to go down the line, and he does into the channel. Solanke, a willing runner, as ever, putting pressure on Konate. And Konate has to kick it off for a corner. So Spurs have their first corner. Good pressure from Solanke. Liverpool have only conceded 2 goals from corners this season. Spurs have apparently scored 9 goals from corners this season, which puts us 3rd in the Premier League. When did they all happen? I don't remember that. I mean, Bentancur scored a couple, I think. But anyway, all right. Madders is going to outswing it. Let's get this on Big Kev Danso's head. Here it comes. It's a deep one. Well, we've scored. And it's Dom Solanke at the back post. Tottenham, well, Liverpool 0, Tottenham 1. And Solanke gets so much abuse. But as I say, as I've been saying for a long time, make him chances and he will score goals. And he gets a header at the back post and he plants it into the far corner. Amazing. And Gary Neville on Cocoms is saying it's a hell of a header. And this shows how little... I mean, I didn't even cheer, did I? It shows how kind of little I care about the Premier League at the moment because of how dross we've been. But it's actually been a decent start by Spurs. And Solanke just works really hard at the back post and gets up above everybody. It's a brilliant header into the far corner. Now take him off, wrap him in cotton wool, and get him doing that against Bodo Glimt on Thursday night. Who was it in the comments who said we'll go 2-0 up and still lose? That's definitely on the cards at the moment. Big Ange giving it some applause. Come on, you Spurs. 1-0 up at Anfield. That doesn't happen very often. Last time we won at Anfield was with Rafa van der Vaart and Luka Modric in the side. I think it was, what, 2011? Bergvall working hard. Good lad. Wins a free kick. Imagine if we do an Etihad and put 4 past them today with our second string. Lol. Vicario gets it out to Ben Davis. Oh, he comes inside. It's a strange one, but then gets the ball across to Danso, goes back to Vic, and now Spurs are being pressed hard. And Vic plays a horrible ball to Ben Davis, and he's going to have to go long. But he kicks it straight to Salah. Outside of the boot, and it's over Diaz's head. A bit of luck for Spurs there. And then Spence kind of turns himself into trouble and goes down the line, down the channel. It's a great ball down the channel, actually. And Solanke working hard. Van Dijk gets it back to Alisson. Solanke's just working so hard. Just so many miles in his legs. Brennan Johnson working backwards there, blocking a pass from Robertson. Good lad. Good lad. Maybe he knows he's got to work super hard today to have a chance of playing on Thursday. And now Liverpool drop one over the high line. And it's McAllister wrong side of Spence. And Spence did well there because he could have easily got sent off. He didn't. Comes to the edge of the box with Diaz. He shapes for 2 shots. Eventually tries the ball out to Salah, but it's blocked. And Tell is able to clear it. Good defending from Spurs. And then once again, Solanke working hard against Van Dijk. Good lad, Solanke. Madders gets a header on it. And then Archie Gray finds Matthias Tell on the left-hand side. Good little trick from Tell. He's showing real confidence at the moment, Tell. And Archie Gray opens the ball out to Kev Danso. It goes across to Ben Davis. 14 minutes gone. Back to Danso. He's got Spence with him, but Danso breaks past his presser and wins a free kick. I love that about Danso when he uses his little bit of pace to get away from a presser. Really pleased for Dominic Solanke. Been getting abuse from Spurs fans who don't have a fucking clue about football. But Solanke goes long with the... Sorry, not Solanke. Spence goes long with the ball over the top from the free kick, trying to find Madders. Similar to that run that he made against Frankfurt, but it went straight to Alisson. And Van Dijk plays the crossfield ball out to the wide left man. Gakpo comes inside, tries the cross. Ben Davies is in a good position. High clearance. Spence with the header. Back collected in midfield by Liverpool. Comes to Van Dijk. 1,000 of you watching now, guys. Thank you so much. Please do press like and do subscribe to Chris's channel and my channel. If you're not subscribed with mine, there's my handle, bottom left-hand corner. Daily Tottenham Hotspur content. Oh, good ball inside. Liverpool are in. It's a goal. It's a brilliant goal as well. It's Luis Diaz. The offside flag has gone up, though. They just got inside. I think it was Archie Gray into the box. But Spurs do like to keep their line on the 18-yard line. So I wonder if Liverpool have just gone a little quickly, and hopefully none of this back four dropped any further than the 18-yard line here. Ben Davies stops. Kevin Danso stops. Oh, he's onside, though. I think definitely Jed Spence's left boot. Yeah, it's going to be a goal. It's a great goal. They just got in behind us into the box and finished off by Diaz. The cross came from the inside right to the... Got in behind us, got to the touchline. Simple cross to Diaz in the middle, and it will be a goal. One. As if both teams to score when you're watching Spurs isn't the most obvious bet of all time. Semi-automated isn't making it any quicker, is it? They're still waiting for this. I don't know why. It's not even close. He's definitely onside. It is a goal. Oh, and now they have a secondary weird celebration. For some reason, I didn't expect that. But yeah, Anfield has really gone super celebrating on that. The Spurs are pretty good at keeping their defensive line on that 18-yard line. But to be honest, it was just the timing of the run was really perfect. So I can see why the line, I thought it was offside, but it wasn't. It was level. Who is it who plays the ball? It's Salah with the cross, is it? No, Salah with the pass into Szoboszlai. Yeah, it's just beautiful from Salah. It's amazing how often teams get in behind us, even when we're playing deep. And yet we very rarely get in behind any teams whatsoever. "18 minutes gone, 1-1. Spence has a throw. Anfield's now quite raucous. Archie Gray goes to Spence, does really well down the right. Johnson plays a ball to Bergvall. He's at the... Bergvall got a great crossing down to the touchline there. From the touchline, sorry. Liverpool got a bit of a spring in their step now. Salah on the right. Good tackle from Udogie. Pushes Salah back to the halfway line. Liverpool on the right-hand side. Their right-hand side. They love it down there. Salah. He's got a runner ahead of him, but he comes narrow. Chips one into the box. Spence gets the first header on it. Comes to Solanke, who tries to head it to Maddison. Oh, and they're in the box again now with Salah. Oh, he must be offside here, but it's another goal. It's offside again. That one did look offside to me. Yeah, he is offside. It's the runs from deep from the midfielders that is killing Tottenham, and Gary Neville's just talking about it now. As per the whole season. Well, I guess we're not conceding goals from like headed goals from deep crosses yet in this game. Vicario wants to kick this long. 20 minutes gone, 1-1. Goes that wide to Tell. Just showing Diaz's celebration again. Allison with the ball now. And a long ball over the top from Konate. Comes all the way to nearly to Gakpo, but Spence gets ahead of him. And rolls his foot over the ball. He's in his own corner now. And clears it off Gakpo for a throw. Spurs second to every ball at the moment. Not a huge surprise. So Bosley's a great player, isn't he? So is Gravenberch. So is McAllister. A lot of money spent on that midfield. As Tottenham have Bergvall, just a kid. He's a brilliant kid, by the way. Maddison and Archie Gray, another kid. So that shows you the difference in midfield at the moment. Trent Alexander-Arnold tries a ball over the top. Little pitching wedge, but goes straight out of play for a new doggy throw-in. Comes back to Vicario. Wants options. And he's forced onto his left side, so just kicks it straight down the middle. Solanke does win the first header, actually. An interesting header from Robertson, but Tell can't keep it down. Ben Davis clears it up in central midfield. Now Dancer gets on it. Comes to the right to Spence. Tottenham being pressed all the way back to Vicario again. This time he goes to Ben Davis. Madders comes deep. Tries the ball with his left foot. Doesn't get past the number 6. One pass finds Diaz, and Liverpool in a good position now on the right. Goes to Salah. He's got runners ahead of him. Goes inside. 1-2. Salah's at the byline. Tries to cut back a little pass. Maddison's in a bizarre position. Finds a Spurs man. Oh, and a good inside ball there to Archie Gray, but no. Picked off. Chance. Liverpool. Goal. Top corner from McAllister. Archie Gray made a mistake there, I'm afraid, guys. A lot of people asking for Archie Gray to play in midfield, but I've always had my worries as to whether he's ready to take the ball when he's on the half turn. And there, he wasn't in the right position. A ball came inside to him, and he let it come around him, and it got pickpocketed off him by a Liverpool player. It might have been McAllister, and then McAllister hits it on his left foot. And like I said earlier, this is what happens when you got players who are £100 million like McAllister. Yeah, and Gary Neville's calling it ridiculous how we tried to play out of the box from the back there. Came inside. So it's Maddison who plays it to Tell, who then tries a ball inside to Archie Gray, and he's just muscled off the ball by Gakpo, really. And it comes to McAllister, and weirdly, nobody really trying to block the ball. They've just got their Arms behind their backs. No one's coming to the ball to block it. They're just standing still. And he puts it into the roof of the net from 19 yards. Good strike. Vicario, no chance. And Liverpool fans loving it. And that was McAllister's first left-footed goal ever. Vicario goes long this time towards Johnson. He's not in this game at all. Robertson wins the first header. Bergvall comes to... Oh, Johnson gives away a foul. Liverpool just playing it out across their back line now. Oof, good challenge from Udogie. But Trent clears it. It's a Spurs throw. Oh, free kick to Spurs, but Sky weren't showing it. But it's out wide left. Chance for Spurs to get the ball in the box, maybe. I guess we did score from a set piece, so maybe this is our best chance. Madders is going to swing this one in. What do you think? Straight into the keeper's arms. That's my guess. Here comes the in-swinger. Oh, flicked on at the front. And it has to be tipped over by Alisson. Solanke again with the header. Another corner to Spurs. 27 minutes gone. It's Liverpool 2, Tottenham 1. I guess that's another reason I didn't cheer when Spurs scored, because I just had no belief that Spurs would keep a clean sheet, not concede 2. And we might concede 8. Maddison, sorry, is going to take the outswinger again. Here it comes. It's another deep one. Well, Danso tried to get up for that one, but it's cleared by Trent to Jed Spence on the halfway line. He tries a crossfield ball, and it makes it sway to Maddison out wide. He tries to beat Trent on the inside, but goes off for a throw. Bergvall to Spence. Spence tries to nutmeg his man. A good ball back to him from Archie Gray, and a cross from Spence, but hits the first man, unfortunately. Ben Davis working hard in midfield, but they clear one down the right. Udogie gets there first and goes back to Vicario. Vicario plays a dinked ball towards Spence, but doesn't make it. And as a result, Liverpool have got it in the final third. Diaz inside, but good tackle there from Maddison, but he got the ball. He got the ball, but the ref gives it as a foul. Maddison's livid. Yeah, it's a foul. He gets the man. Gary Neville having a go at Vicario for trying to dink out the pass. Yeah. But it's not Vicario's issue. It's the manager telling Vicario to do it. So... So it's a free kick. I don't know, what is it? 30 yards out. Szoboszlai, Trent. You'd think Trent would probably have a dig here. Oh, here he comes. It's over the bar. Miles over from Trent. Half an hour gone. Because looking for positives, because West Ham didn't win yesterday, didn't get a result. Tottenham are not in 17th place yet. Oh, Solanke. He's got to be strong here, but he's muscled out the way by Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool now popping it around in midfield again. Alisson. Solanke presses him. He's always got an easy pass. Because Spurs' press just involves Solanke randomly having to press on his own all the time. This time Bergwall presses McAllister and it goes back to Alisson again. Solanke stands off him this time, and rightly so. Van Dijk to Canate. First yawn of the day from me, apologise. Good ball down the line to Salah. You can't get the better of your doggy. And wins a corner. I wonder if this will go down as the worst home kit in history to have won the Premier League. It really is a bit of an eyesore, in my opinion, Liverpool's kit. Red with kind of yellow lines. A weird collar. Don't know. Maybe people like it. I'm not sure. This is going to be an outswinger from McAllister. It would not surprise you, would it, if they scored from this? Big men coming forward. Kanate and Van Dijk. Gakpo's big as well. Szoboszlai on the edge. No one marking him. Oh, the ball's moved. I guess. Still haven't had this corner. Oh, dear. The ball is still moving about. Alistair has another go. The ball keeps kind of rolling on the corners in the corner quadrant. A bit like Yuri Geller, 1996. Bergwall clears at the front post, but it's a terrible header. Comes to Gakpo. Oh, they've scored again. Honestly, Tottenham's defending in the box is so bad. So bad. Gakpo scores. I've said it all season. Tottenham, when they have to make like 50-50s in the box or block shots or just make challenges in the box, they're so scared. They're so scared. And also, I've got to say, Bergwall, who's good in the air, poor headed clearance at the front post from the corner. So here comes the corner. It comes to the front man, Bergwall, and he just heads it straight into the middle of the box, pretty much. And then there are 4 players around Gakpo. Maddison, Solanke, and Tell is around him. Davis is angry about it, but none of them get a challenge on him. Oh, God. 3-1, 35 minutes gone. Again, finding new and more embarrassing as ever ways of conceding goals. Oh, dear. I did say I thought this could be 9. Could be. It's the 13th goal Liverpool have scored against Spurs this season. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you're a manager and that stat existed, you would be fucking embarrassed. Or you should be. You should be fucking embarrassed. Oh, Tell's on the inside left position there and then tries a horrible pass to Maddison. Outside of the boot. That was stupid. Liverpool playing Olé football now. Honestly, this could end up being 9. Gary Neville just slagging off Spurs again. I have to say at this point, Archie Gray is nowhere to be found on this pitch. It's getting given the runaround by 3 absolutely elite midfielders. "10 minutes till half time, guys." Well, Danzo plays a good ball between lines to Bergvall, gives a lovely touched off pass to Johnson, and Johnson just kicks it off the pitch, trying to pass it to Bergvall, who hadn't made the run. Spurs have the ball with Danso. Goes to Vicario, calling on the Liverpool press, and they all press together, Liverpool, so that's putting Spurs under pressure. And Danso tries to go down the line, but it's blocked by Diaz, who's a hard worker, who then fouls Danso. "230 comments. Looking forward to going through them at half time. I imagine quite negative most of the time. Maddison tries a ball out to Tell. It does kind of reach him, and then he's fouled by Trent. Do Liverpool get presented with the trophies today? Jed Spence goes to Danso, pressed by one of their midfielders. He's going to end up having to go back to Vic, is he? Doesn't. Goes down the line to Bergvall, but Bergvall loses it. And Liverpool are now somehow 2-on-1. Actually, Ben Davis has to do well in the end. And is that going to be a booking? No, it's just a foul. Ref laid play on, but then calls it back by Danso. Oh dear, Spurs. All the way back to Alisson. Oh, lovely turn in midfield from Szoboszlai. He tries to find forward pass, but it's blocked. And then Spence goes for a ball over the top to Solanke. I mean, that ball, like, as if you're going to win many past Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool now loads of space on the left with Gakpo. He's got runners outside him, runners inside him. Goes outside. It's a bit of a heavy ball, but Robertson is at the byline. Gets it back to Salah. Chance on the edge of the box. Well blocked by Ben Davis. Shot blocked by Ben Davis. Oh, and then a great challenge on Jed Spence. Archie Gray finds Ben Davis. Davis goes inside to Madders. Comes to Kevin Danso. Spence runs away from him. Comes to Johnson, who flicks nicely down the line to Bergvall. That's dealt with by McAllister. Dancer goes inside to Archie Gray, takes a horrible touch. And as a result, Liverpool nearly through down the middle, and then Gray gets involved. Liverpool would have been offside there. Comes to Tell, though. He's in a good position. Rolls his foot over the ball in the inside left. He's trying to do it on his own, though, and he's telegraphed, but he keeps it and goes to Maddison outside him. Madders tempted with the left foot cross, goes for the right foot cross, and it's cleared at the back post by Robertson. And then an offside is given against Spurs. Johnson being a bit lazy in the box there would have been offside. Van Dijk goes inside to McAllister, comes wide to Robertson. Good football, finds Diaz. Bad ball by Diaz. Archie Gray gets in. Heavy ball, though. It's one off him by Liverpool, and then a good block by Brennan Johnson. Arnie Slot quite vociferous on the sidelines, considering he's 3-1 up. You know, Liverpool have actually been struggling to beat teams at home and away recently, like just usually scoring their first goal in the second half. Well, Tottenham, they've let you score 3 goals in the first half. So enjoy yourselves, lads. Enjoy yourselves. Comes back to Vicario. He plays the dink over the top to Maddison. Over the top side, but to wide left. Comes back to Ben Davis. Going to come back to Vicario. Got Danso out here. Vicario. What's he going to go for here? Oof, plays a bit of a dodgy ball, but does find Bergvall. He goes down the line to Brennan Johnson. It's a brilliant ball from Bergvall. Johnson's got time here, but maybe he's taken too much time already. Oh, he should have scored. Should be a chance at the back post. Could be a penalty there from Canate. Canate was kind of wrong side of Tell. And Tell's gone down. Canate looks injured too. I hope Tell's okay. Great ball from Bergvall to Johnson. So Johnson gets to the byline and his cross nearly finds Solanke at the near post, and then Tell comes in. I don't know if Canate gets much of the ball here. He needs to get a touch on that ball. Oh, that's got to be a penalty. VAR's decided nothing in it. Oh my God, that was a penalty. Not given. Basically, ball came to the back post. Tell's got a run on Canate. Doesn't really know he's there. Canate tries to sweep his leg around. Doesn't really get much on the ball, if anything at all. And then connects with his studs on Tell's ankle. But VAR has said inevitable consequence of a challenge. It's a penalty. Jesus Christ. Van Dijk. Liverpool just popping it around at ease. I wonder if they'll try and go for the jugular second half or whether they'll try and just knock it around. No tempo. So much space for Andy Robertson. Tottenham are embarrassing to watch defensively. Doggy bringing it out now. No one with him though, so has to turn away. Goes to Spence, who's got 2 men on him. Goes Tottenham nearly give it away, but now Doggy is on the right wing for some reason. He's chopped down by McAllister. How is it possible Andy Robertson there just had the whole freedom of the pitch on the left-hand side? Anyway, nearly half time, thank God. Ben Davis on the ball now. Comes back to Kev Danso. To Spence. Goes down the line to Johnson. Touches it inside. They just about get it back to Spence. He's got nowhere to go. Plays it down the line. Gives it away. But Spurs get it back with Gray. He goes backwards to Danso. Comes across to Ben Davis. Plays it around Salah to Maddison. And now Tell on the left-hand side. He's got 2 ahead of him. Oh, he's driving though, Tell. Now get a cross in. And it just goes straight to Alisson, unfortunately. But that was decent from Tell until the cross. 4 added minutes, unfortunately. Alisson plays it to Van Dijk, plays it to Robertson, comes back to Van Dijk. Spurs' press is too bob, to say the least. McAllister just opens it out. Loads of time for Konate. Van Dijk. Dinks one over the top towards Gakpo. Spencer's wrong side, so Gakpo manages to hold it up. Comes inside, Spencer's all over him, then dinks one to the back post, but Vicario claims it. Then throws it out first time to Doggy. Not blessed with options there, Destiny. Goes to Tell. Gives it inside to Madders, whose first touch is horrible, but he does win a free kick. See what people are saying on Twitter. I dread to think. It's another chance for Madders to put a tackle in the free kick in the box. Sorry. Yeah, Spurs ITK Hub says, can't say I'm going to lose sleep over this game, but was that not a penalty? Feel I've seen softer given far more consistently this season. Let's see. Oh, and we're in down the left now. Udogie into the box in the byline. Tries the cut back. It comes to Tell, and he has a he just takes too much time there, Tell. Bergvall keeps the ball, but then doesn't know where his man is. Comes inside, working hard here, Lucas. Dinks one off the pitch, unfortunately, trying to cross it towards Solanke. This would be Spurs' 19th defeat this season. There's Daniel Levy in the crowd. Spurs have never lost more than 19. We had 18 defeats after 33 games also in 1912, 1913, the year the Titanic went down. It's quite a long time ago. Liverpool just seeing out this until half time. Oh, lovely through the midfield. But Spurs pick them off, and here comes Udogie. Tell makes a run ahead of him. There's no easy pass. Comes inside to Madders. Chops it onto his left foot, which was a mistake. Spurs lose it. It's played long into Tottenham's half. Cario picks it up. Lays it to Spence. Goes across to Bergvall. Comes back to Danso. The ref will blow his whistle in a second, I'm sure. Spence to Gray. It'll be interesting to see what Ange does. And that is the halftime whistle. Very, very Tottenham, you have to say. It is Liverpool 3, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Liverpool having the party that everyone expected them to have, really. First minute, Danso gave a foul away. Nothing really came of it. Salah cut in from the right into his trademark position in the second minute, but hit it over the bar. Fourth minute, a chance for Brennan Johnson after a good early cross from Matthias Tell, but he was offside anyway. 6th minute, made a note to say that Tell was looking bright, but Liverpool looking very dangerous on transition. Danso did stop a really good chance on the transition by racing backwards, and therefore the pass couldn't be found. I think it was from Salah looking for Diaz. 8th minute, ball from Virgil van Dijk over the top to Gakpo. His dink volley was just wide, caught by Vicario, but deemed a corner. And then from the resultant corner, Gakpo had an overhead kick that he set up for himself just wide. It came from a poor punch from Vicario from the initial corner. 10th minute, good pressure from Solanke in the channel led to a corner. And from that corner, Tottenham took the lead. Outswinger from James Maddison all the way to the back. Solanke with a great header. Best moment of the game for Spurs. And after that, not unexpectedly, it all went to shit. 14th minute, just made a note that Kevin Danso does use his pace sometimes really nicely to get away from pressing forward. So that's good. But then 16th minute, goal from Diaz. They got in behind us in the inside right position to the byline. Simple cross to Diaz. Easy finish. Came from a beautiful pass into the box from Mo Salah. Initially deemed offside, but VAR turned it over. Then Liverpool had another goal disallowed in the 19th minute, Gakpo. And then in the 23rd minute, they scored. McAllister, top corner strike, left foot just outside the box. Basically, poor play from Tell and Archie Gray trying to play the ball out from the back. Lose it. Goes to McAllister, smashes it in the roof of the net. That, I'm afraid, is because Ange Postecoglou tells them to play out like that at all costs. And the costs are usually goals. 27th minute, Solanke had a looping header from a James Maddison free kick, tipped over by Alisson. 30th minute, Trent had a free kick over the bar. 33rd minute, the third goal, Cody Gakpo. More terrible defending from Spurs. A poor header from Bergvall at the front post after a corner. Goes straight into the middle of the box. And then Gakpo, nobody trying to really work hard to win the ball off him or block a shot. So he just takes a few touches, gets his shot away into the bottom left-hand corner. 38th minute, I've made a note, Liverpool all over us. Ben Davies blocked a shot with his head. 42nd minute, great ball from Bergvall to Brennan Johnson. His cross nearly found Tell at the back post, and I think that should have been a penalty with Canati sliding. And he may have got a tiny touch on the ball, but afterwards his studs, as far as I'm concerned, go into the ankle of Matthias Tell, and he was hobbling a bit after that. So that is the half. Tell you what I do, seeing as it's half time, let's tell you a little bit more about Match Bingo.
Let's go.
Hi everyone, before we get into it, I'd just like to tell you about a brand new app. It's called Match Bingo. You can play along with live sports and Spurs matches, and you could win cash prizes. Watch your card fill up in real time whilst watching Tottenham. Make sure that you get your bingo card for our next game. Click on the link in the description or via the QR code. Real sports, real bingo, great prizes. Enjoy.
That's right. I'm sure every Spurs fan will have filled up their cards quickly before this game, as the games always have so many incidents, and we've had 4 goals already. Over £200,000 have been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them into one brilliant app. So make sure you get your bingo card. Click through the link in the description or via the QR code up there in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Bingo cards currently buy 4, get 1 free. I'll just tell you before I go into the comments, I will tell you the rest of the afternoon's content plan. I'll be doing a post-match reaction video after this game, where I'll probably be discussing a kind of 6 or 7-1 defeat, I would have thought. And then after that, it'll be the fan show where I speak to Tottenham's fans from around the world about this performance, but probably realistically looking ahead to the Thursday game more. And then after that, it will be the Spurs Chat podcast at 7:30 p.m. Craig Dearman hosting with Melvin, Johnny Bow, and Lee Baker. Ashin Wizard says, I wouldn't call Gray awful. He was literally playing as a centre-back the whole season. Apparently, a few people trashing Gray. Richard Smith says this, for all those trashing Gray, and just had weeks to give him time midfield, and after not even letting him come off the bench, he throws him into this game. It's not Gray who's the problem, it's Ange. Jack says 400 million spent under Enoch on what? Unbelievable but true. There's been a lot more than 400 million spent, mate. A lot more. It's about 700 or 800 million in the last 5-6 years. But as some people are making note of in the comments, a lot of Spurs fans have been asking for Archie Gray to play midfield. He's not quite ready on the half turn yet, as far as I'm concerned. Dino Payne says, it's funny to see Levy with no clue. He's hired a clown, and now no one with a brain would do this job. Super J 3600 with a bit of an interesting one. Genuinely wish we got relegated and started again. Deary me. Ashen Wizard again says this lineup's not good enough for how the manager wants to play. I mean, that is a understatement. TSOM, thanks for your comment, mate. Says, oh dear, another dismal performance. Gray, Johnson, and Madison having an absolute stinker. First 10 minutes were good, but the heads have gone down. Silent says Vicario, abysmal. Yeah, another understatement, I would say. So, you know, it's going to be a long old afternoon. Ty, sticking up for Archie Gray here, says he's 19, playing at Anfield against champions and hasn't been playing much recently. John Lancaster says if the players had it drummed into them to do the simple play more often, we'd be in a far better position. Yep, that's an understatement. Gardy, thank you for your comment, mate. Says Jed is a wonderful player, but I think Ange isn't fond of his improvisational nature. Udogie and Porro will start for Europa games until the end. For Jed to work with Ange, he'll have to simplify. Yeah, I think that's probably a good point. Lane Onto says, at this point, I just want to finish above Man United, but even freaking Man United is better than us. Yeah, that's true. Gary Jarvis wants Ange out now. Don't think that's going to happen. They're just showing the second goal where Tottenham madly trying to play out from the back. Basically playing it round corner blind to Archie Gray, then gets out muscled and nobody tries to close the ball down. Just embarrassing. Gardy again says, must be wild knowing that the league is over, but you have to show up anyway. And all your real focus on progressing in the more significant cup tournament. These are really just training games. Yeah, but bad ones. Training games where we're all about 25% off it. Let's see what people are saying on Twitter. Harry Scarf sometimes comes on the show. He says, I know we've made changes, but we should be doing better. It's a schoolboy defending that it's unforgivable. Seems like it's going to be about damage limitation. Well, it's a schoolboy defending that basically comes from Ange Postecoglou asking them to do the same things every single time and it never, ever working. Ibrahima says, poor defending, always the same shit. E2 says, schoolboy defending from schoolboy aged players. Shocker, I know. Jesus, thank you for your comments. Says, Spurs deserve nothing this season. This team does not deserve to qualify for any European competition. Woeful. The usual old Ange Poster no clue from Conrad. Ashen Wizard said, we should have brought the academy players on. I guess we do not want our players to get rusty, but we do not want them to lose confidence either. I mean, is he now going to bring on Van de Ven and Romero, I wonder, to give them 45 minutes each? I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that team, that game if I was them. I really wouldn't. TSOM says, Ange is only 20% of the issue. This squad just can't compete, sadly. Jack LaGrosse, interesting one here. Would Arne Slot succeed at Tottenham? Not a chance. Well, he turned down the Tottenham job. Let's not forget that. When before Ange came, Arne was being heavily talked about. And he turned it down. And I think it's fair to say, I think he made the correct choice. Machina Joe says this, Spurs will get knocked out by Bodo. I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, every chance of that. Every chance of that. Kevin says, ironically, I think lesser players would do better in this setup as they would always feel like underdogs. Not a bad point. Ange's cough medicine says, I just don't think Ange's style, especially with teenagers, doesn't work in the Premier League. Jesus says, Ange Postecoglou is the worst manager in capitals I've ever seen in the Premier League. A disgrace. He has made Spurs a laughing stock. Hashtag Ange out. Yeah, difficult time. Difficult time. Dark B says, can any manager succeed at Tottenham? Yeah, Maurizio Pochettino did. Ashton Wizard said, even prime Mourinho wouldn't win anything with this team. Well, we had Mourinho. Didn't work. Oh, dear. Gav says, I'm sure some fans will become abusive again towards the manager and players. Pat says, Barnaby, please not read out Arsenal fans' goading comments. Who's that? Which Arsenal fan is that? Yeah, I mean, look, having gone through what happened in that first half, it's just like waiting for more of the same, really. Kevin 40k says, in fairness, what success did Poch have in actual terms? Still 1-0. Got to a Champions League final. It's not, I'm sorry, guys, it's not all about just winning something. It's not. If Poch won a League Cup, nobody would be talking about Poch in any better way. It's about more than that. It's about the football you play. It's about how pundits and other fans from other teams talk about you. It's being able to hold your head up high and say, we're one of the best teams in the land. And that is what Pochettino did for Spurs. And, that's what Arteta is currently doing at Arsenal as well. And it's not as simple as just saying, you win a League Cup and therefore you're a success. It's not as simple as that. You need more than that, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. It's all subjective and everybody can feel different. Patrick says, it's going to be tough to renew the season ticket this year. Top dollar for dross, sadly. Yeah. Really, really, really difficult. Super J3600 said, is there any point in beating Bodo when a final versus United or Bilbao would be an embarrassment? Lose to Bodo, sack Ange, and start again quicker. Pasquale says, all Poch won was consistent qualification for the Champions League. Well, when you say all, like, that is literally the only time in our history as a club that we've had consistent qualification for Europe's top competition. So I wouldn't say it's just all. I'd say that's pretty impressive, especially considering he had to work with the 6th highest wage bill in the land. Oh, dear. Pedramino Fellini says, what I don't understand is anyone doing something over and over again until failing at some point. You think maybe I should just change something. Postecoglou just doesn't. Yeah, that's true. Mike Rockburn says, we might yet finish under West Ham, absolute rock bottom. Unfortunately, that wouldn't be absolute rock bottom, though, would it? Because rock bottom is Southampton, I think. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Ryan Langley says, Poch had much better players in their prime. Let's not forget, guys, Poch made a lot of those players better. Nobody rated Danny Rose or Kyle Walker before Poch came in. Trust me, nobody did. We hadn't seen the best of Jan yet. We hadn't got Toby Alderweireld in yet. So Poch did a lot of work. Scott Rozelle says, people say they aren't playing for Ange, but I disagree. I think they struggle to believe that the system works. When you doubt what you're doing, you find yourself 3-1 down at halftime. I agree. Very bleak, but no surprise, really. No surprise. TSO says, not one of the current players would get into the Poch squad. Oh, that's a good point. Let's have a look. I think they'd get in the squad. I definitely have Van der Ven and Romero in the squad. I'd have Maddison in the squad. I'd have Solanke in the squad as a backup over Fernando Llorente. Paul O'Connor says, it's gotten that bad that I'm past being angry and just resigned to this team being shite. The shape of the team, the lack of effort from the players, it's making me switch off on football. TSOM says Bergvall, yes, and Van der Ven would get into that team. I'm not sure Bergvall would yet, but he's definitely got the quality. Jesus asked 6-2 at the final whistle. I think they might end up scoring 6, yeah. 6 minimum, I would suggest. Silence asks, is the second half underway? No, but Liverpool are doing a warm-up. Oh, dear. Andy asks, how on earth is Postecoglou still here? Well, because he's in the semi-final of the Europa League. And a lot of the Spurs, in my opinion, this is the main reason. A lot of the Spurs fan base have had a go at Daniel Levy for years about sacking managers too soon. And as a result, this time he's sticking with it till the end of the season. Okay, so the subs. Madison and Gray off. Kulusevski and Sarr on. The game has kicked off, guys. Exciting times. Exciting times. Liverpool try and play a ball through to Salah. It's picked off by Udogi. Goes back to Davis, and Vicario is being pressed here by Szoboszlai. Vicario goes into Spence. Plays a ball inside to Decky. Has your first touch. Oh, lovely ball from Decky to Brennan Johnson. There's no one in the box. Tell is at the back, though. And now the ref puts his the liner puts his flag up, so nothing would have happened anyway. God, Johnson was 5 yards offside there. Pointless. And just livid with him. Liverpool dink one over the top of Spurs' high line, but it goes straight out for a throw. Vicario being pressed onto his left foot. Oh, wow. What a terrible pass. Got away with it a little bit. It's gone back to the halfway line. Alisson plays a good ball into midfield. Kulusevski's working hard off the ball. Kanati goes back to Alisson. Van Dijk. Tries the ball down the line. Robertson, but it's blocked. So it's a Liverpool throw. And this second half has started off a little slowly, tempo-wise. Danso clears. One by Gravenberch. Halfway, and then a ball attempted over the top. Udogi deals with it. Solanke tries to hold it up in midfield, but he's ousted by Gravenberch. Plays it out wide left to Robertson. Tries the cross, but well blocked by Jed Spence. Bardi from the extra inch on Twitter's just said 1 game closer to the end of this nonsense. Start a debate in the comments, guys. Whose fault is the appallingness of Tottenham's defending? Is it the players individually and their lack of ability, or is it what they're being asked to do shape-wise? Oh, McAllister puts Gakpo through. Oh, and then he tried to pass it when he should have shot. Should have been a goal. Just horrible defending. Got so many men, but McAllister just waltzes through, and he would have been. He was onside. Gakpo should have scored. Danso brings it forward, tries a little chip over the top, but Solanke's easily dealt with by Alisson. I'd be getting Solanke off now and get Richarlison on, to be honest. Van Dijk. Liverpool go down the line. Oh, it's good football from Liverpool. And so Boslai's got so much time in central midfield. Takes it out wide. So Salah is now driving at Udogie. Tries to have a weird shot there. It's well blocked. And a horrible touch from Johnson in central midfield. My God. Down the line to Salah. Comes back to the halfway line. Trent. And Dyke tried to ball over the top, but Danso deals with it. Spence has it. Looking for options, but he has to go long and we'll lose the ball, I'm sure. Yeah. This drops to Trent. Tottenham absolutely piss poor here. Gravenberch. I have to say one thing, actually, whilst we're getting destroyed again by Liverpool. I said I thought it would be very difficult for Liverpool this season to follow a manager as successful as Klopp, and they've proven me absolutely wrong. Proven I know nothing about ball. They're in down the left again here. Dance has to slide in. That's a corner. Corner to Liverpool. 51 minutes gone. McAllister's going to take it. Referee having to get involved with the pushing and shoving by the keeper, of course. Sarr, of course, on the pitch now. Liverpool go short with the corner. Now Szoboszlai with the cross. Cleared out by Danso for another corner. McAllister taking his time to go and take it. It's going to be an outswinger. This is the corner from which Solanke scored from, of course. Outswinger comes in. Oh, it's a free header for Canate, but he didn't get hold of it. It's cleared. Tell working for it. Does well, Tell. Oh, but Spurs just run 6 players ahead of the ball here. McAllister, he has a shot wide, but it's deflected wide for a corner. Yeah, just a little nick off Ben Davis's heel there. But Spurs, the ball was cleared and there was a bit of a scrap for it in central midfield. Tell trying to win it. But about 4 or 5 Spurs players ran ahead of the ball and then we didn't win the 50-50. And so that was a really good chance for Liverpool again. Another corner here, McAllister with the in-swinger. Vicario claims it. Throws it to Danso, gets pressed straight away. So has to go back to Vicario. Plays a horrible ball into Papside, deals with it quite well, goes to Udogie. Tottenham trying to play perfect football here, but they lose it. Of course they do. Bergvall wins it back. And he dives on the floor. He wins a free kick. Didn't think it was, to be honest. Udogie to Davis, back to Vicario, who gets pressed. 3 men pressing. Vicario tries the ball down the centre of the pitch. It's picked off. And Liverpool just trying to score this perfect goal. Otherwise, Spurs would be about 6 down at this point. Liverpool in down the left here. Poor ball though, goes off the pitch. Still 3-1. Enquiries tries another dink ball, this time to Doggy. Takes Doggy ages to get it down, so in the end Ben Davies has to go long. And Van Dijk wins it easily, and Liverpool keep it well. Jed Spence wins the ball, starts driving forward, but it's got 2 men coming towards him, and he gives it away. Oh, lovely from Gravenberch in midfield. Finds Szoboszlai now coming forward, finds Mo Salah running towards the box, running at Udogie. And Salah's shot is deflected wide. It's deflected wide by Bergvall. Get Bergvall off the pitch, for fuck's sake, man. Rest him for the weekend, for the Thursday night. Andy Robertson coming to take this corner. It's a bit of pinball in the box after that corner. Comes to Salah now. Comes to Trent on his left foot. Blocked. Good. They want 2 pens here, and a ball was cleared off the line. Ref gives nothing. And then Tell wins a foul. So a shot comes in here. They're calling for a handball. No, Sarr keeps his arm by his side. And then Salah just dives on the floor, and Ben Davies, clears one off the line. Davies does well there. There, I've agreed. Oh, Spurs have the ball. Kevin Dancer with a shot, just wide. Liverpool just playing it out of their own box now. They go long down the line. Danso facing Vicaria, goes back. Vic's pressed. Takes a horrible touch and has to kick it out. An hour gone in this one. I hope that Ange takes a few more players off soon. Trent. Canate. So easy for Liverpool to break the press. Comes to Salah. He's the wrong side of Udogie, but Udogie does get back well, and then Salah tries the ball inside, but Danso clears it. Van Dijk wins the header and goes back to Robertson. 7 shots to 1 to Liverpool in the second half. Here comes Gakpo. Goes inside. Oh. Gravenberch has a good shot. Well saved by Vic to his right. Now Vicario has the ball at his feet, which is what Liverpool want. And they're going to make him play a dodgy pass. Well, he goes long this time with his left foot up to the halfway line. Straight to Canate. Clears it long. Ben Davis wins that header. Can Udogie get it down? No, Tell misses out to it. And then kicked off by Udogie. Alisson now has the ball. Get Solanke off this pitch. He's just running about, tiring himself. Salah tries a ball inside. Good strength in midfield from Decky. Holds it up. Got no one around him, so he's waiting. He's got Spence coming now. Oh, and then he runs narrow and loses it. Spurs have 6 ahead of the ball now, and Liverpool have a 4-on-4. Bergvall's back. McAllister goes to Salah. Salah in the box. Chance, big chance. Goal. Mo Salah. I told you he'd get his goal. Spurs caught on the transition again. How many times have we seen that goal this season? (4-1). I sent a message to my mate Tom before this game saying, "Are you asking if he was betting on this?" And I said I fancy Liverpool to score to win by more than 4 goals, 4 or more goals, and I think that will be the case. So this is it. Liverpool just driving 4-on-4. Nobody really working hard to get back and help. Comes to Salah on the right, cuts inside, and in the end, Ben Davis drops so deep that he kind of gets in the way of Vicario's sight. I don't think Vicario would have saved it anyway. (4-1), 64 minutes gone. Brennan Johnson's still on this pitch, believe it or not. I haven't seen him all day. Oh, Spurs win it high here. Sarr with the shot. Saved by Alisson, straight down his throat. Still 25 minutes left minimum. Oh, Decky works hard backwards there. He plays a good ball between the lines to Solanke. He's got Sarr with him. Tell is still on the pitch, believe it or not. Oh. Sarr tried to play a ball in between the centre back and the full back for Tell to run onto, but Tell stopped his run. So it goes straight through to Alisson. Oh, Gakpo, 2-on-2 now. Salah picks it up. Chance, big chance. Saved by Vic Szoboszlai. Left-footed shot. Liverpool coming at us again. When is Ange going to take some of these players off who are going to play Thursday night? Okay, the commentator said there are going to be some changes. Why is Mike... Salah now just running at us. Oh, Spurs win a ball high. Konate steps in. Van Dijk steps in. And now Liverpool there down the left-hand side with Diaz. Back to Van Dijk. You might have a dig here, Van Dijk, and he does. Just wide. A quick look to see what you guys are saying in the comments. Jack Legros says, imagine Tottenham in Champions League. Okay, Richarlison on. That's funny. Is it for Solanke? Surely, yeah. Good lad. Okay, but he's still fit, so that's good. And Tell off as well. Odebear for Tell. Imagine how unpumped you'd be to come on right now. 4-1 down. So Bosley coming off for Liverpool. He's a good player. Curtis Jones going on for him. Udogie coming down the left. Got Sarr outside him, but it's a poor ball. Picked off by Trent. Comes narrow. And now Curtis Jones has so much space to run into in central midfield. So he goes then wide to Robertson. Comes to Trent now in central midfield. Oh, chance. And another chance for Liverpool. It's another goal. Own goal, Udogie. 5-1, 68 minutes. This could be anything, guys. This could be anything. And I said it at the beginning of the game. I said I thought it might be 9. It could still be 9. Oh, might be offside. Oh, no, except he didn't score it. Can they give him offside for putting the pressure on him? This might be deemed offside, but probably not. VAR check. Semi-automated VAR is no cricker for offside, is it? It is a goal, 5-1. Spurs kick off. Bergwall's still on the pitch for some reason. I don't know why. Spence just being pressed, gives it away. Liverpool give it back to him kindly. Danso. Kulusevski. And then eventually the Spurs have to go long. Liverpool win it easily because just like it's been every game in the Premier League for the last few months, Spurs just playing so like 40% off it. Anyway, comes to Odebear, wide left now. He's driving into the box. He's got 2 up against him. Tries to go to the byline, and he's pickpocketed easily. But Curtis Jones, I think it is. 15 goals from Liverpool against Spurs this season. Oh, picked off by Udogie. Odebear driving into the box. An interesting little ball, but well covered. This is the most goals Liverpool have ever scored against a single opponent in one season. 15. Odebear tries the cross to the back post. It's cleared by Van Dijk. Rishi looked offside there, but he tries to hold it off in the box, gives it to Odebear. Got an option outside him. Sarr tries a cross. Oh, and then they tried a long ball over the top. Is that Basuma on the pitch? Oh, Spurs have just tried a shot. Is it Spence from like... Yeah, Jed Spence tried a shot from like, I don't know, 60 yards away. I can tell you the most exciting thing is that my flatmate is clearly cooking some lovely food because I can smell it from downstairs. Allison passes it out to Van Dijk. To Robertson. Falls over. Spurs win it high, but Spence with a poor touch loses it. And Liverpool now with just one pass just have the entirety of central midfield to run into. Sarr gives away a free kick. Oh, Liverpool bringing on some more players. See what Twitter's saying. Harvey Elliott coming on, he'll score. Bardi, the X-Reen says, I think if they score 7, he'll get sacked. There's no way they can sack him before Thursday night. There's just no way they can. Because you'd be in danger if the players, want him there, of them downing tools. It's weird, isn't it? Do you remember like the... Do you remember like the Tim Sherwood days and how bad that felt? This is way worse than that. But we're still in the Europa League somehow. Liverpool just... Oh, what a ball from Trent to Salah, but he can't keep hold of it. 75 minutes gone, guys. Diaz coming off for Liverpool. Harvey Elliott's come on. He'll score, I'm sure. Thanks to the 2,300 of you watching this, guys. Appreciate the support. Do give the video a like. Do please subscribe to Chris's channel at Chris Cowlin on YouTube and my channel at Barnaby Slater _. I'm actually something to look forward to, releasing a little documentary on Tuesday about comparing Tottenham's Europa League semi-final run this season to the last time we won a European trophy back in the 80s. A little short 10-minute documentary, a little bit of fun coming out on Tuesday. So give my channel a subscribe if you want to see that at Barnaby Slater _ on YouTube. And then as we get close to the transfer deadline starting again, I'll be doing transfer videos as well. Loads of balloons on the pitch now, and you're getting the lols of all the players trying to deal with balloons. Perhaps some of the best football he's done all day there with the balloons. Vicario has a long kick. To be honest, I'm kind of surprised it's only 5-1 at this point. Kicks it towards Odebear, the smallest man on the pitch. It's already a huge party outside Anfield. Hundreds of thousands of people outside the ground already celebrating. Vicario just kicks the ball off. Comes to Alisson. Richarlison half-heartedly pressing him. Comes to Konate. Liverpool just knocking it around us now. Also, Crystal Palace made it to the final of the FA Cup yesterday. How would you feel about Glasner being on the list? I like him. Won the Europa League with Frankfurt. It's done really well at Crystal Palace. Seems to do it simple. Vicario. Let me know in the comments anyway. Danso has to go back to Vicario. Loads of balloons on the pitch now. The ball coming through balloons. This is like comedy. There's just balloons all over the pitch. Amazing job by Arne Slot, to be fair. Didn't change too much and just really benefited from not overtraining them, so they've not had many injuries, and not trying to change too much from what Klopp did. And he's got himself a Premier League title in his first season as a result. Fair play. My dad was a Liverpool fan, but he never worked hard enough on me to get me to support them, which, you know, frankly, bit of a shame. Anyway, Brennan Johnson still on the pitch. He gets a cross in. Endo's at the back post. Odebear tried to get in behind him. That goes off for a Spurs throw. Sarr's come across. Why is Bergvall still on this pitch? Oh, just shanks a ball back to Ben Davis. Vicario now being pressed. So he goes for the big up and under, but Johnson doesn't run for him. Decky does, eventually. Robertson gets rid of it. Jed Spence tries to bring it down, but the ball had gone out. Guess all you can hope is that I'll have forgotten about this if we're in Bilbao. Ten minutes to go. Only 10 to go. It's been a tough watch. Just second to every ball, Spurs here. They've played one over the top. Salah chasing. He's got Udogie with him. And Udogie gets a touch for throwing to Liverpool. Who saw the Chris Eubank Ben fight last night? That was proper sport. That was proper old school scrap. Very impressive from both fighters. Good, decent humility after the fight as well. Have to try and enjoy other sports at the moment. Liverpool now just with Endo down the right, trying to win a corner here. Decky gets in the way, but gives it away. Udogie gets in the way, but in a minute we'll give it away. Keeping it in his own corner, Udogie. Wins a throw. Darwin Núñez coming on. Maybe he'll score a goal. Eight minutes of normal time to go. Konate to Van Dijk. One touch to Jones. Back to Konate. Back to Van Dijk. Quite a lot of reports in the last few days that Pochettino is high on the list for Spurs, but I just don't know how we would get him out of his American contract. Unless they allow him to kind of share it for one season. It just seems unlikely, doesn't it? Should be able to, though. He hasn't got any competitive games. I wonder how Jurgen Klopp feels today. Wonder if he thinks he would have won the league this season. I imagine he probably does. Kulusevski gives away a foul. But maybe he would have overtrained them and got them injured, like all the Spurs players have been. I think we now know that it's not the injuries that have caused this season to be so bad. It's myriad things. Gravenberch inside to Harvey Elliott. Curtis Jones back to Elliott. Salah driving at the doggy again. Oh, Spurs trying to mess that up, but Sarr ends up whacking it away. It's almost like Tottenham have nobody on the pitch at the moment. Liverpool just laying it around at the moment. Ange on the sidelines with his arms folded as per usual. They try the big up and under. Danso wins the header, but he's got a clash of heads there. Oh, and it's fallen to... He should have gone down. Oh. Salah crossed it in. Udogie gets it out for a corner. Danso a bit too brave for his own good there. It must have been offside because now somehow Liverpool just knocking it about again. Canati goes back to Allison. Ball over the top of Spence. Robertson wins a corner, does he? Sorry, I'm not saying much. There's not much to say. Liverpool have taken the corner short. Oh, they're going to have a dig. Oh, it's deflected up to Vicario. Oh, dearie me. But he was fouled in the air, Vic. 4 minutes left. Still 5-1 Liverpool. Is that Brennan Johnson still on the pitch? Yeah, he does. Beats a man as well, just by running straight. Oh, he's just trying to do it all on his own now. Loses it. Comes to Van Dijk. Oh, lovely little dinked ball down the line. Jones opens it out. Comes across to Endo, playing right back. Salah. Inside to Elliott. Goes back to Jones. Elliott. Jones. Elliott. They're just laying it out. Elliott. And they're all chanting champions at Anfield. Salah now. Up against Udogie again. Udogie does okay, but bounces back to Salah. Udogie fouls him, but the ref doesn't give it wildly. And then Udogie tries a wild outside of the football to Richarlison. It works. And then Richarlison gets pushed on the floor. Here comes Danso. Goes outside him to Spence. Nobody anywhere near him, so he just has to pass it straight to a Liverpool player. Into the 88th minute. Hopefully the ref will spare us by giving hardly any added time. "19 defeats this season." Bergvall in midfield, drives forward, good lad, beats 3 players, good lad, plays it outside him to Odebear, then carries on the run. He's at the byline now. Bergvall tries the outside of the boot cross, good lad. It's cleared, and Sarr gets an important header. Comes to Spence. He's out muscled. And Liverpool, as a result, are 2-on-1. And it's Darwin Núñez. Passes it to Salah. It's a horrible pass. He's got to lay it back. Still a huge chance for Liverpool. Harvey Elliott. I said he'd score. Here he comes. Blocked by Sarr. Another chance for Harvey Elliott. And they ruin it. Núñez is fucking dire. Should have just shot. Tries to pass to Salah, but such a horrible pass. It should have been 6. We're into the 90th minute. Hopefully he just finds like 1 added minute. Oh, 4 added minutes. Why? No need. As they sing, "You'll Never Walk Alone." Gary Neville banging on about the rivalry between Man United and Liverpool. There is no rivalry. They're not in the same ballpark. Spurs have a free kick to take it back to the centre halves. Oh dear. Can Tottenham bounce back from this on Thursday night? That's the only question that really matters. Spence with the throw in into Kulusevski. Plays it inside. Bergvall. Ben Davis tries the big switch. Goes over the pit, over Odebear's head off the pitch. Callister gets player of the match from Ginev. Oh, lovely from Salah. Finds Nunes again running forward. Spurs do have some men back this time. Nunes just going to have a long dig, and it's blocked by Danso. Arnie Slot shakes Ange's hand. I don't know why he's doing that so early. Maybe because he expects a pitch invasion, I guess. Corner, Liverpool. Cleared well from Spurs. And then Kulusevski gives it away on the edge of the box. Then a little nutmeg. The ball cleared out wide. That's a Spurs throw. Just over a minute left. Richarlison holds it up. Oh, Richarlison gets in a fight. Of course he does. With Harvey Elliott. They both get booked. Oh, they're still fucking fighting with each other. And Harvey Elliott's laughing at him. It's because Elliott tried to nutmeg Richarlison. Richarlison reacted badly to it, and then Elliott pushed him. What a bag. Every time Spurs have had the ball the whole game, they just go backwards all the way to Vicario. And he gets pressed, has to go long, play a bad ball, just like he just did there. And then Endo has a dig, try and beat him from 50 yards, but he's back on his line. I think that'll be the end. That's it. Liverpool 5. Tottenham Hotspur 1. Hi guys, this is my post-match reaction to the Liverpool 5, Tottenham Hotspur 1 Premier League game. It could have been 12. Probably should have been 12. What do I have to say about that? No surprise whatsoever. Just so inevitable. This was Liverpool's party day. Tottenham did take the lead. Good header from Dom Solanke. But, you know, another mix and match side. Ange made 8 changes. And honestly, just, you know, what's the best I can say for it? Just every player on the pitch for Spurs, determined not to get injured, not going hard into tackles. Liverpool wanting it more than them, as you'd expect. There's not really much I can say about it. Just like I said, it could have been 10. Could have been, you know, I was very tempted before the game to put a bet on at 9-2 that Liverpool would win by 4 goals or more, and that's what they did. But I didn't, so I didn't even get any money out of it. Just found in that first half even more new ways to concede embarrassing goals. trying to play the ball out from the back unnecessarily all the time. But that's Ange's way, so it's Ange's fault. When we concede those goals, it's Ange's way, so it's Ange's fault. And listen, the reality about Ange is he keeps his job until we go out of the Europa League. And if we turn Bodo Glimt over 4 or 5-0 on Thursday, once again, we won't be thinking about this game. But I'll say it again. We will finish the season in 17th place in the league. There is absolutely no doubt about it in my mind. There are no games that I look back, look at the fixture list of and think, oh, Spurs will probably win that this season. No. And I think Liverpool have now scored 15 goals against Tottenham this season. 15 goals. That is the most goals they've scored in a single season against any team in their entire history. I mean, how does Ange defend that? I don't know how Ange defends it. He can't blame the injuries. You know, it's just, you can't concede 15 goals to one team in like 3 matches across a season. It's just completely mortifying and embarrassing. And, you know, there are young players. He gave Archie Gray a try in centre midfield, and the kid was lost today. He's playing against the best midfield in the land. And, you know, and he's not ready to play midfield. He's not ready to take it on the half turn. Maybe he would be if he had some better midfielders around him, but no Bentancur today. And he was in midfield with Bergvall, who obviously, you know, and I don't blame him. He's not going to fly into 50-50s. You know, he worked hard, but he's got a big game on Thursday night. They all do. We played Ben Davis and Kevin Danso at the back. They conceded 5 without, I guess, doing anything particularly wrong. Just Tottenham just do some absolutely wild things. So many occasions where we're kind of fighting for a 50-50 in the Liverpool half. And you just see, we were wearing blue today, you just see 4 or 5 Tottenham blue players run past the ball in the hope that we win that 50-50. And then we don't win the 50-50. And Liverpool are like 4-on-2. And they scored a goal or 2 from that today, but they also missed a load. And listen, I said it earlier in the watch along, it's horrible to see the change between Liverpool and Spurs in the last 5 or 6 years. Do not forget, before Jurgen Klopp took over at Liverpool, and now Arne Slot, obviously, Spurs finished above Liverpool in like 8 of the previous 10 seasons. And now Liverpool, just through some shrewd ownership, shrewd decision-making, have just left Tottenham in their dust. Tottenham are nowhere near it. Honestly. And if Tottenham don't make the right decision in the summer about a manager for next season, they could genuinely be in a relegation battle. That's how much of a mishmash this squad is when things are bad. There is a lot of talent there. There's undoubtedly a lot of talent there, but talent can very easily lose confidence. And there's no confidence in that team today. And he made 8 changes. And we've been shown time and time again this season that those mix and match teams that Ange puts out, they never, ever work. And I guess the only positive we can really take is Van der Ven didn't play, Romero didn't play, nobody seemed to get injured. And we move. We move to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium Thursday night, Bodo Glimt at home. And it's everything because we need a proper lead. I mean, I have to say, I did say this against Frankfurt as well, but against Frankfurt away, we weren't playing on a plastic pitch in a tiny little ground. And Bodo Glimt have taken on all comers at that ground. I watched the second half of their game against Lazio at home. They should have scored 4 or 5 against Lazio. Lazio did not know how to deal with it. And let's face it, Tottenham's experience on a plastic pitch this season was against Tamworth, and they didn't exactly cover themselves in glory there. Anyway, that's Thursday night. I'll do some team ratings, some player ratings today. Vicario made a couple of saves. 5.5, 6. I'll give him 6. Spence, 5.5. Davis and Danso, 5.5. Udogi, 5.5. Scored an own goal, so I'll probably have to give him 5. In midfield, Gray, I'm afraid he got hooked at half time. Have to give him a 4. Bergvall, I'll give him a 6. Tried hard. Maddison went off pretty early. 5. Tell, 5. Solanke got his goal, so I'll give him a 6.5. Johnson, 3. Just not in the game. And that's it. Liverpool celebrating wildly a championship and thoroughly deserved. Arne Slot's done a great job, but Spurs are a terrible football team to watch in the Premier League at the moment. It is horrible. And that is our 19th defeat. And there is nothing good to say about what is happening at Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League at the moment. And never known anything like it. I mentioned it earlier, but I'll say it again. The Tim Sherwood days. Everyone takes the piss out of Tim Sherwood and the gilet wearing and letting the fan come onto the bench and whatever. But it's damn sight better than this shit. Damn sight better. His results were so much better. It's never been as bad as this. And you wait. Ange Postecoglou will come out in the press conference and say, oh, look, I thought we controlled the game pretty well first 15 minutes. What are you watching, mate? Every single time after a game that we get thoroughly outplayed, thoroughly dominated. And I don't mean possession. You know, when he comes out as, we had all the possession or whatever. Doesn't mean shit in terms of game state. This is another game, just like Forest was, just like all the games, Fulham, whatever, where the opposition dominated us because they know how to play us. They know what they have to do, and it's very, very little. It is as simple as that. Tottenham are a laughing stock. I think one of the main reasons Tottenham are maybe not getting fully laughed at by absolutely everyone is because Man United are doing nearly as badly as Spurs. But we are a laughing stock. We are a meme. And it's just ugly and boring to watch. I mean, I'm hungover today, but I'm yawning so much during that game. Endless yawns. And it hurts. I'm watching here, like, the whole Liverpool squad singing You'll Never Walk Alone with the fans. Like, imagine that show of unity. And at Tottenham, it's toxic. Listen, I'm going to say it. Back in the late 70s, Spurs won the double in 1961, right? But only 17 years later, they were relegated from the top division. And in terms of it setting us up to then win trophies in the 80s, it did. It kind of put us back at a level where they had to build from the bottom up again. I'm not saying we're going to get relegated, but like I said earlier in this, if we don't make the right appointment, mad stuff could happen next season. But we need a proper fucking reset. And it needs to start with the chairman coming out and saying, listen, I've done a terrible job here. I've made some huge mistakes. And I'm taking the Europa League off the table here because, look, we could win the Europa League, but I'm sorry. Even I know, even though we're the last four, the reality is you have to kind of agree with what Carragher was saying last week, where Carragher was like, if Tottenham played Man United in a European final, there's no way Tottenham are going to beat them. And you kind of agree because everything mentality-wise would be against it. And I'd say Spurs have probably got, and I know it doesn't make sense mathematically, but I'd say we've probably got a 5% chance of winning the Europa League. It's tiny. And look, it would save our season. And we wouldn't mention games like this, but the likelihood is we're not going to win the Europa League. And as a result, this will go down as the worst season in the modern day history of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And it's embarrassing. 19 defeats in the Premier League. It's embarrassing. Chris tries to get people on to talk to me in the fan show after these games. Nobody wants to talk anymore. Nobody wants to watch the games anymore. And all the content creators who are Spurs content creators like I am, you hear them talking about it. Nobody's watching our videos. Nobody's subscribing to our channels at the moment because when you're a Spurs fan and we keep losing, all you want to do is not see anything about Spurs. And it's depressing. And something has to change. And the rumors this week or in the last couple of days are that Daniel Levy is looking to appoint a big name as the next manager of Spurs. Well, the only reason I can think of that is because he's looking to appease the fans in some way. But it's going to take something absolutely monumentally huge and some really good decision making for a few years all in a row is what it's going to take because they have to undo some of the horror decisions that have been made by this club recently. But anyway, like I said, we move Thursday night. Won't be talking about it. I'm expecting on Thursday night fucking 150% effort from those players. Nobody worrying about getting injuries, just plowing through them. I'm expecting Romero to show that he is a leader and to show that he can put Bodo Glimt to bed in the first leg. Get an early goal. They've got some suspensions. Put them on the rack. Make Dominic Solanke some chances because he showed today when you make him a chance, he can score. And we've got to put them to bed and make the fans forget and make... I know they're doing a tifo at the stadium and they're giving flags out. That the team on the pitch need to get the crowd up. because I don't think the crowd will naturally be up for a Bodo Glimt game, even though it's a semi-final. But the team on the pitch, they need to go through the opposition, 50-50s, hardcore, everything to show that they want it. I didn't know if I'd find 10 minutes to talk about that game. I guess I didn't. I've gone off on tangents, on rants, but it's hard to put this shirt on at the moment. It's hard to watch these games at the moment. I don't want to watch another Premier League game. It's horrible. It is horrible at the moment. Anyway, guys, thank you for sitting through it. Thank you for watching this post-match review. Please do press like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel. Cheers. All right, guys, welcome back. This is the Fan Show. Before I get back into it, I'm going to give you one more chance to sign up to our partners, Match Bingo.
Hi everyone, before we get into it, I'd just like to tell you about a brand new app. It's called Match Bingo. You can play along with live sports and Spurs matches, and you could win cash prizes. Watch your card fill up in real time whilst watching Tottenham. Make sure that you get your bingo card for our next game. Click on the link in the description or via the QR code. Real sports, real bingo, great prizes. Enjoy.
Real sports, real bingo. Great prizes from the Don himself, Chris Cowlin. He's everywhere. He's at the game in Liverpool, but he's still doing voiceovers. Anyway, this is the Fan Show, guys. If you want to join Match Bingo, you just use that QR code in the top right-hand corner. But this is the Fan Show. And first of all, I'm going over to America and Scott, who should be there. Hello, Scott. How are you, mate? Another disappointing defeat. Unsurprising. You've heard my post-match review. How are you feeling?
Well, not as bad as you.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's because you're more in the heart of it. And I'm just here in America that doesn't have all these Arsenal rivals, and it's just much easier. But I mean, it's still, as someone who's been watching him now for 15 years, this has been the hardest season of all those 15 years. It's just, oh man, so many easy goals. I think they said it's the most Spurs games have had the most goals of any team, and I don't know if it was throughout EPL or if it was everywhere
in history.
In history, it's just pathetic. All those easy goals. It's like, I just can't even take it. But then I didn't even yell at my TV one single time today.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't cheer when we scored because you just know what's going to happen. Listen, I'll be up for it on Thursday night. Don't you worry about that. I'll be pumped about it. But
I'm worried.
I was going to say, but can you trust that Tottenham won't concede in the first 5 minutes to Bodo Glimt?
Think about how everyone felt before Eintracht. Everyone was predicting a big loss. Oh my God, we suck. It's just like all those comments. I mean, yes, I think Ange has to go. It's not a player thing. It's the tactics. They showed one sequence where all the defensive line was right on the midfield line, and you could see that ball coming over the top from a mile away. And I think Danso recovered on the one they showed, but this is a guy that had come off a bad hamstring, and it's exactly how all these guys have gotten hurt. They had these recovery runs. No one can do that consistently. Then starting Vicario really pissed me off last week. He had a great game in Eintracht. And I think he was probably a little emotionally drained coming into the last game, and he had another freaking error. And I think Kinski should have started that game last week. He comes into this game fresh, and now he's had another mistake. It's just pathetic.
Which one do you think was Vicario's fault?
I think it was the second goal. Did they have 2 before half, 3 before half? Yeah. I think he dinked a little pass. He was trying to get it over.
Right.
And they might not have conceded on that one, but it was just like, it was another one of those dinky. Okay, give it to Vicario. Get rid of it now. And he just he got it to their defender. I don't know if they scored on that one, but I wrote it down. But that was the last thing I wrote.
Yeah, so because it was so boring.
It was boring, maybe, but no, yeah, it was. I don't know.
Put yourself in Daniel Levy's shoes, right? They cut to Daniel Levy in the crowd. What do you think he's thinking right now? What, like, you know, he can't believe in this manager.
Yeah, and I think that's a financial thing. I think there had to be consideration right when the group stage ended and they got in. I think there had to be consideration. Should we replace him now? But I still think it's money. I think they don't want to pay out someone who's just going to leave. I think it's also the Mourinho decision, firing him before the cup final. I nothing's going to happen. If he goes out of Europa, I think they will replace him. Yep. And I think it'll be the guy that's, what's his name? The guy under him, Matty Wells. Because I don't think there's a strong connection between him and anybody. And I think him being so isolated is part of the problem. I think, and no one really probably tells him this isn't going to work because they're not really that close. They don't seem close at all.
What's your prediction for Thursday night then? I know you said you're worried. What do you think the score will be?
Is this a home game? I think it's
first leg is at home, yeah.
I think we're going to win it. And I think we're going to win probably 2-0 because they play on a short pitch, because it's turf. It's kind of a little bit of an adjustment for them too, even though they probably have some grass in Norway. I don't know how it works.
No, it's a proper plastic pitch in the second leg. Yeah,
I think it's a 2-0, and going back to their place, I just don't know.
Backs to the wall.
Backs to the wall, but they're also going to feel that pressure of like, oh, we got to win because everyone's going to think we really suck, even though everyone's thinking they suck right now. So I think that's part of the problem too. Everyone's just saying they suck. And there's so many people saying that I don't know if they really believe that they are capable right now, but they pulled it off at 9-track, and I think they're going to pull it off this Thursday.
All right. In which case I'll be going to Bilbao. That could be interesting. Listen, Scott, thanks so much for being a part of the show. Sorry that we seem to never get to talk after a win at the moment.
Yeah, I can only do this on Sundays. All right. Well, cheers.
All right. See you later. Bye-bye. Okay. So next I am going to Gary.
Hey,
Gary,
Barnaby,
thanks for joining me, mate. Yes, Gary. How are you, mate? What have you sat through there, mate? What have you sat through there?
Mate, honestly, I just fucking, you know what? It can't get any fucking worse, can it? Probably can. Sorry for the swearing. Yeah, it's just horrific, mate. The whole season, the league form, the Europa League is literally all we've got to hold on to. And that's what I would say. I wanted to come on here really positive today. I was really excited to come on. That fucking game has just sapped it out of me. Do you know what I mean?
But were you surprised in any way?
No, not at all, mate. Not at all. But what I would say is, you know, the club is in tatters at the minute. But we've got one chance to win this trophy. We've got Bodo Glimt in the semi-final. I think, you know, you'd rip my hand off if I'd have told you that at the beginning of the season. You know, we really, as a fan base, I know it's difficult, and you know, it's not for me to tell anyone, but as a fan base, we really need to get behind them. It's really hard to after watching shit like that. But yeah, we've really got to. We really have.
What do you think is going to happen Thursday night? The home game against Bodo Glimt. Obviously, they're a well-organised team. They've got a few suspensions, but you know, I don't think the Spurs team are going to go into it full of confidence.
No, certainly not after today as well. But yeah, I honestly think we will beat them on Thursday, and I think we'll beat them handsomely. Whether that will be enough in the second leg is another story. But we've got a great chance, Barnaby. Do you know what I mean? We're never going to get this chance.
But we're not going to keep a clean sheet, are we?
Probably not. No. But we're never going to get this opportunity. You know, not in the current state of the club. Do you know what I mean? If we could get to the final and somehow manage to wangle a result. You know, it's a sliding doors moment as well, because I tell you what, Villa are ahead of us now in terms of quality and where they're going. Yeah. Newcastle as well, and there's a few others that are right on our tails.
One thing I would say, just sorry to interrupt, but just because you said it, and I think it's relevant, Villa were in the bin under Steven Gerrard. They were in the bin, and they made one astute managerial decision, which I bet at the time a lot of Villa fans probably were like, oh, well, he failed at Arsenal. But they made one astute managerial decision, and it turned quickly, and it can happen. But what they also did at the same time was they brought in a sporting director. I think they lobbed out at a similar time, Johan Lange, who's now at us. And they brought in, is it Monchi they brought in? Or I can't remember. Yeah. And he's been well renowned for years. I think he was at Sevilla for years. And they've just made astute signings. They've taken a risk financially by spending a lot of money on wages compared to their revenue. But in the most part, it's worked. They got to a Champions League quarterfinal. They do need to get in the Champions League again, that's for sure, because of those wages. Otherwise, they'll need to sell. But it just shows that it can happen relatively quickly. But do I trust Daniel Levy to make an astute decision and the right decision? I don't. And I would say, I think that astute decision is Pochettino. But I don't know how you get Pochettino out of his American contract.
But you're saying at that point Villa made an astute decision. Well, they made 2 or 3 astute decisions. We went and got Ange Postecoglou. Do you know what I mean? And that kind of is bared fruit now, isn't it, in terms of where we're at and what's going on. I agree totally. Pochettino, I think he's the one manager that I think 90% of the fan base would get behind. He congeal it and pull it all together. And he
knows how to deal with Levy as well.
Absolutely. And I personally believe, I keep hearing loads of people say, well, he's not going to come now. He's taking the USA the Cup and the World Cup and blah, blah, blah. He'll come. We just need to go to him. He will come. But I don't think Levy will do that.
But he has he's always talked about his morality, hasn't he, Pochettino? And he doesn't love to break a contract and things like that.
He will. I believe he would. I really do. You watch that interview with him. He seems like he really wants to come back. And I think if we went to him, I think he would come back. But like I say, I don't think Levy will. He's such a knobhead.
He is. If we couldn't get him, who would you go to next? Who do you like?
Do you know what? There isn't anyone that really infuses me, if I'm honest. Marco Silva, Thomas Frank. I think personally Glasner would be the best of a bad bunch, if you want to put it that way. And that I don't want to be disrespectful. I think Glasner could do a good job if he was backed. I think he'd certainly coach the players a lot better than Ange has. But none of them really infuse me. Pochettino would be the one that I would want. That I would, if we couldn't get Pochettino, then okay, Glasner would be my next choice. But I think we should go all in, all out to get Pochettino. I really do.
All right. Well, listen, Gary, not a great deal more to talk about, unfortunately, but let's hope that you're right and we get a good result Thursday night.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Thanks for being a part of the show, mate.
Thanks,
cheers.
Barnaby. Take care. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Okay, next up is Steve. Steve, how are you, mate? Thanks for coming on the show.
What can you say? I mean,
well, exactly. Is there any way to find some positive?
I mean, I think what summed it up was our captain on the day, who basically just persistently put us under pressure. You're 1 up and you just go, well, actually, let's just keep it tight for 15, 20 minutes. Let's not do anything stupid. And then, the minute it's 1-1, it's going to be 2-1. And then it's going to be 3-1 because the team's got no backbone. There's no leadership in the team. And, what they say about stupidity, about keep doing the same things time and time again. And how many times have we seen us do that? Try and play the ball out from the back in ridiculously tight positions and give the ball away. I mean, you can't do it against teams like Liverpool. And it's insane to even, do it once or twice, see it doesn't work, to keep doing it. And I have no idea if the manager is telling them to keep playing in this way because somehow in the long term it's proving it's going to be beneficial, but it is total insanity, isn't it?
I'll tell you what I find insane as well. The stuff that he comes out with in the press conferences at the moment is absolutely mad. It is absolutely mad. The thing he said last week, the thing he said on Friday, where he's like, oh, look, people are telling me to lose a game this time last year. It's like, yeah. What's that got to do with anything now, mate? You're just deflecting again.
He talks about the lack of respect he gets because he managed, was it a team in Hong Kong division that won the league and the Australian league and Celtic? It's like,
he gets no respect because he's lost 19 Premier League games.
I mean, honestly, like there isn't a Spurs fan out there who wants Ange Postecoglou to foul. None of us do. When he took over, none of us went, oh, let's hope he fouls.
Yeah.
But to consistently make the same mistakes. And the thing as well, you know what he reminds me of? Like, you can imagine him being the captain of the Titanic, getting off this ship somehow and kind of going, what do you mean? Apart from the fact we hit the iceberg, I thought it was quite a good cruise, to be honest. You can imagine it, can't you?
There's that meme. There's that brilliant meme where they just post a picture of Ange talking to the in-house Spurs interviewer. And the in-house Spurs interviewer always says something like, oh, well, Ange, you only conceded 5 and you scored the first goal. So it was a decent start, wasn't it?
Yeah. And you get this kind of weird cult. You know, there's a cult of Ange and the fan base. You kind of go, you know, when we lost 4-2 to Wolves, again, you know what? Wolves and FA conceded like 2 goals at home twice this season, as if we should be proud of that. I mean,
feel like that cult is quite geographic.
I think it is. I think it is quite. I mean,
which I understand. I understand. It's, you know, it's the first Australian manager to manage.
None of us want him to fail, do we?
No,
we don't want him to fail. But like,
I still want it. Listen, I still say, listen, there's nothing I'd want more than to see Ange stuff it down our throats by winning the Europa League.
Absolutely. You know, if we want to play on Thursday, we play outstandingly well and win and get through, and then play Man United in the final and beat them, I would be absolutely delighted. But there's no way that this guy can be our manager next season. And I'm old enough, Barnaby, to have seen Spurs be relegated. And the team that were relegated had 1,000 times more heart, more soul, more passion than this lot. And also, they had a manager, Keith Birkinshaw, who was young, brave, and kind of like, you know, and was a Spurs man through and through, even at his early stage of manager. With Ange, he comes out with absolute garbage every time we lose. It's like, you know what? It's like, none of this is my fault. You know, he never blames anyone, does he? It's never his fault.
No. Jesus has said, I just put it up there. He says, most expensive tickets in the UK. That's the thing. That's where Daniel Levy gets away with it, from the fact that he doesn't get interviewed ever. Because it's like, the question is so easy. How do you possibly defend demanding the highest prices in the entire the UK?
No.
And yet we are 19th.
And you know what? The game that really made me, you know, so anti him was a game that we actually won. It was a Man United League Cup game, a Carabao Cup. We won 4-3. And we were 3 up and we were holding on. And he kind of like at the end of the game, he was almost laughing. It wasn't that entertaining. And it's like, actually, it wasn't. It was a horror show that we just about got over the line.
Yeah. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, are we not entertained? And it's garbage. It really is garbage. And, you know, and I think, like, I know your previous caller was saying I'm not that enthused by many other managers. I actually think there's 4 or 5 managers in the Premier League who could do a much better job.
Go on, I'm listening. I'll tell you what, Glasner is one I would take like a shot. Yeah,
I think Glasner is good. I think Areola reminds me, you know, he does remind me of Pochettino when he was first at Southampton. There's bits of him that remind me of him. I think Marcus Silva might have earned the right to have another go at a bigger club. I think if Thomas Frank started well at, you know, if he became a manager and started well, I think he would be a reasonable choice. All of them to me are much, much better tacticians, you know. And like, the thing isn't it, Barnaby, right? You just can't keep making the same mistakes game in, game out. It is, you know, you can't say, oh, it's part of some kind of process. You can't. We're not, you know, we're not some footballing experiment, are we? We're meant to be a top 6 team. And like you said, we've fallen so far behind that.
All right. I mean,
completely, you know,
give me your prediction for Thursday night, score-wise.
Well, who knows? I mean, I suspect, I haven't seen this other team. My suspicion is that we probably will win 2-1. And then I have no idea about the second game. But the thing is, it's like, you know, I knew today we would lose. And that's the awful thing, isn't it? You know we're going to lose. And, you know, and I don't know. I just can't believe how bad it's got. Really can't believe how bad it's got. And
it's going to get worse because we're going to lose all the rest of the games and finish 17th.
Well, we got the battle for 17th, haven't we, against West Ham? You know, that's.
You don't think you can't honestly see us going to the London Stadium and turning them over. They're a big physical bunch.
Well, no, we probably won't. I mean, I don't think we can beat anyone, to be honest, do you?
No, I really don't.
I mean, you look at Leicester, you know, lost. Wow.
Spurs.
Who was that? Us.
Yeah.
You know, horror show.
Yeah.
But keep smiling, mate. You're doing a great job. And like,
that,
don't get too down. Honestly, I'm old and I've seen bad moments with this lot. But this is
all right, mate. Hopefully, I've got the hope of Bilbao. I've got the hope of Bilbao.
It's nice. Be a nice film title, that wouldn't it?
It would be. Listen, thanks for being part of the show, mate.
I've as well. It's part of it. I did.
No, you've ruined his life, mate. You've ruined his life. All right, have a good one,
Cheers,
mate. Thanks for being part of the show. Cheers, bye. All right, guys, and to be honest, that kind of sums it up. That is the last guest that we have on today because people just do not want to talk about Spurs at the moment because it's so poor. I'll go through a few comments. Sound of Gugu says 17th in a cup that is not won yet. That's Levy's ideas of success when he's selling 75,000 tickets for the boxing. That's right. The boxing was at Spurs last night, wasn't it? Coke Can says, because of General Levy, excuse me, he's only interested in money, and the boxing last night at the stadium would have had him and the board rubbing their hands. Razzle Dazzle says we need a new leader and captain. Scott Rizal wants us to try and get Xavi. Don't know about that. Bit of a risk. I don't know. Peter M says, I'm really fed up with the fans who think that if you criticize and you're not a true fan. True fans know when they're getting screwed by rubbish football. I just don't know how he defends. I'm just going to have a quick look on Twitter to see if he's said anything post-match yet. Not that I can see as yet. Tell you what, the last home game where they have to walk around the crowd, that'll be interesting, won't it? Scott Rizal says Kinski should have started today or the last game. Jackie Boy Johnson says the thing is, if those managers were that smart, they wouldn't come to Spurs. Paul Hazeltine, says the players need to play for the fans. The fans spent too much money to go into the games. It's embarrassing. Yeah, that's totally true. Can't deny it. All right, guys, if you want to get involved on a future fan show, please email tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. That's tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. All right, guys, that's the end of today's watch along. Subscribe to the Spurs Chat podcast, which is at Chris Cowlin on YouTube. Also, don't forget that in half an hour's time, Craig Dimon will be hosting the Spurs Chat podcast from 7:30. We'll be joined by Melvin, Johnny Bow, and Lee Baker. Do click on that QR code if you want to be part of the match bingo. We have a chance to win thousands of pounds. But once again, guys, another horrible day for Spurs. But Thursday night, Bodo Glimt, European semi-final. At least got something to be up for. Come on, you Spurs.